In this video, I'm just going to go over using the computing points by station offset here in Embedded CAD and Microsoft CAD. So here I have a bit of alignment here. So just a line and an arc, pretty simple. And then I just made a copy of it off to the side, just so that we can see the just have a side-by-side comparison, so we can see what we're doing here. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be computing some offset points along the arc here at specific stations. So from my other alignment here, and in this particular case, we're starting at station 45. Um, the station at the beginning of the curve is 58.61, and then it goes all the way up until station 74.02. So I'll do it on this side so we can see, just so we're a little bit less clutter on what to see here. So the routine is under MS Cogo, compute points, and compute points by station offset elevation. In this particular case, I'm just going to be in 2D, but elevation is just another value you can add during the routine, and I'll mention it when we get there. So first it asks for the object, and the way this works is it goes based on lines and arcs, so not polylines. So if you have a polyline of your setup, you might want to explode that so it's broken down. So here I have a line and an arc, and I know my offsets are going to be on the arc, so I'll select the arc. And where you click on the arc is a factor. If you click on the first half of the arc here, you'll have an arrow like so, and that means this is the starting point going this way. If I cancel out and start the routine again and select from this end, that means I'm starting here going this way. So it just gives you a little bit more control on which direction it is, depending on what you have drawn. So we'll start here. And here we have an option to enter in the starting station. So from an alignment, I know what my starting station is. It's 58.61. And you can see down here, it's computed the end station. And that's based on setting this as 58.61 and adding the arc length to it. That's where we get the 74.013, which ties in with the station label, which is it's just been rounded a little bit there. Okay, and then now we have the station distance. So this value here isn't so much the distance from the station forward that we want to do the offsets, but the actual station that we want the offset to be at. So in this case, because the station I want is on the arc, it's going to be a station between 58 and 74. So I can do, for example, station 60. So slightly after when the arc starts. And then I can do an offset point. So negative numbers will go on the left side relative to the starting point in a direction. So left side is this side here, and right side is over here. That would be a positive number. So if I do -5, for example, that will put it on the left side up here. And then a description for the point, if we want to give it one, I'll leave it blank. And this is where we can also, this is specifying what the point number is. So this is just using the next point ID, so point number 20. And an elevation if we want to give it one. Again, I'm doing this in 2D, so I'm not going to worry about elevations. So we got that point there. So I press escape to cancel out. So this station is going to be, just look into command line here. I did station 60, so just slightly after the start of the arc and to the left 5 units. Let's do another one here. And we can do this in another method. So let's do compute station, and we'll select that same arc again. But let's say instead of, you don't know what station the offset's going to be, but you know it's a certain amount of distance from the start of the arc. A way you can do that is to just say that your starting station is 0. That means since this is 0, any distance you type in is going to be from this point onwards. So if you know that you're putting um, an offset, let's say 7.5 units along the arc, I can just type in straight up 7.5. I don't need to add it to the starting station since we said it was 0. And then we can do an offset. We'll just use another number. I'll use 5 as well, for example. And I'll do positive so it puts it on the right side. Give it no description, point number 21 and no elevation. Press escape to cancel out. So in this case, we have another point 7.5 units along the arc and then 5 to the right. And given that the arc is about 15 units long, 7.5 is roughly in the middle in direction to the center point. So that lines up of where it should be. Okay, and those that's the way to use the compute points by station, offset, and elevation.